Hello and welcome everyone to the qualifier match for Perfect Cherry Blossom Lunatic Survival. We are joined here on this Easter to witness a thrilling match ahead. I am Mino and I am joined here by two other folks. Introduce yourselves.
I'm GeneralVan. I am a Touhou streamer, and well, this is my first time commentating, so a little nervous, but please go easy on me. This is my favorite Touhou game and just one of my favorite video games in general, so yeah, I'm excited to see the matches we have today. And yeah, happy Easter to all those celebrate, and let's have a good one.
Hello everyone, I am Hourai. You may know me from Touhou Replay Showcase commentary, although this is my first time doing Touhou World Cup. I am very much looking forward to this match, so let's have a good one.
Alright, so before we get into our slides here, just a quick little rundown of the two players. Both of them have done LNN in this game. Shodan has Marissa A and Senki has both of the Sakuya shots.
I do believe that Senki learned this category quite recently in another event. We got those LNNs pretty recently too.
Yeah, sure. We can go ahead and go to the slides.
Good.
Okay, so Touhou World Cup, the event you're watching, it's a global tournament featuring various categories in the Touhou project. Each match features 2 or 3 contestants competing in a survival or scoring category on Lunatic or Extra. You can always look at our website here to see more details.
Shout out to Maribel for making that website. Fantastic.
Yeah, he
site.
works really hard.
Thank you, Maribel.
Okay, so for our category today, each player is going to have 85 minutes of reset time. What this means is that even if the timer is gone, as long as they're still in a run, they can finish that run. However, starting a fresh new credit can only be done in the 85-minute time period. And in order to score their performance, there will be a set of rubrics, which we'll get into the next slide here to compare the 6 shot types of the game. Okay, so here in this game we have 6 different shot types. So on the 3rd column here, you can see what their score would be at max performance, which is no miss, no bombs. As you can see there, Marissa B scores 14 points, where the other shots score less points. However, it is good to note that Marissa B gets punished more, slightly a little more, not as much. For each mistake, she decays 50%, while the other shots only lose 60% of the DWC score. The rubrics here are kind of interesting, as you might notice, because formerly you would have expected Reimu A and Sakuya B to be the best due to their performance on a certain stage section at the end of the game. However, the meta of this game has changed a lot over the years, and we'll talk about that in the run later. But to put it short, basically there's some full power clear shenanigans that go on in this game now, so that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, shout out to all my Sakuya A users. My favorite shot type pretty much in the entirety of Touhou, so anyone using Sakuya A out there, you're kind of awesome.
Yeah, I wonder if Senki's gonna try that one today.
Yeah, it is good to note that even though the players have certain LNNs, it doesn't mean that they won't try other shots, and that'll be interesting to see. I hope to see Reimu A.
I'm expecting Sakuya A, but yeah, Reimu A should be interesting as well. In my opinion, her homing is slightly better than in EOSD, so you know.
For TWC score reasons, I would kind of expect Sakuya A from Senki, but maybe Senki will want to start with Sakuya B or another shot altogether. And as for Shodan, Mari A was the one Shodan has LNN with, right? But I imagine that he could try to go for Mari B. I just don't know if that's quite worth it because she falls off behind Reimu A and Sakuya A after just one miss, I believe.
Yeah, Marissa B is the go big or go home, the full risk shot, I suppose.
And the difference between her and Sake A is you have to ask yourself, is it really worth that risk?
Yeah. So Shodan, knowing his Marisa experience, might just go for Marisa A, the stronger one.
What I'm really curious about is going to be their consistencies in the early game. I think Perfect Cherry Blossom has one of the nicer early games. Actually, the first threat, at least in my opinion, is usually Lily White, and even then, she's not going to be as hard as the types of patterns that you'll see in EOSD or UFO. But you can't underestimate her by any means, you know?
No. And especially for people that played Phantasmagoria Flower Review, you know, sometimes she can be quite annoying. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how people deal with her. And I agree with that statement of PCB having a very forgiving early game compared to most other games. It's really, you know, it gives you a chance to clear. So
I wouldn't be too surprised to see a reset to Kinon Tonko.
That's true, and I know that some people say that Alice can be a little bit tough. I guess I can kind of see that on her opener and final spell, but I don't know. After being bullied by characters like Sanyo and Kaguro all the time, I feel like, you know, not all Stage 3 bosses are the same.
As someone who's been bullied by Alice plenty of times when I was trying to get my first Lunatic 1cc, I did eventually achieve it. Yeah, occasionally she can be quite a hater. So just don't underestimate her. But if you don't underestimate her, and once you should be in a good position once you reach stage 4, then it's really time to grind.
What I think is notable about PCB is that it is a very slow game. However, it doesn't have the reset time that you would expect. Like, you know, because we had Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom last week or a few weeks ago, and that had a pretty large reset timer. But also, the difficulty in Perfect Cherry Blossom is miles and miles easier than Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom. So even though the PCB is generally pretty slow paced, the reset timer isn't going to be as large because the players can reach late game a lot more often because it's a lot more generous.
Right, especially, and also, in my opinion, occasionally that slower pace actually works against the player because they might get a little too relaxed, they might not have like the sense of like urgency to really play at their best, so sometimes that relaxing pace can actually be a hindrance for the player. And like you said, because it's a little long, especially stage 4, that reset timer is not as big as it seems, especially with this game.
I'm really curious because every Touhou World Cup player gets into that dilemma on survival of, if I die in the mid-game, do I reset or do I keep going? I've seen so many matches at this point that I'm not really convinced one way or the other because, I've seen situations where players will just reset and get an amazing run afterward and back up that reset. And then I've seen other players, take the risk but it not really work out. And then maybe if they had finished the run, it would have been better for them. So it's just, you can only predict the future so much. But it's up to the player's discretion,
Right.
For a long game with a relatively short reset timer, the players probably need to think for themselves well in advance about what they personally should go for in a situation like that. Which I am sure they have, and it looks like they are getting ready.
Okay, so I see, we are hovered on Sakia A and Marissa A.
Nice, Sakia A. Love to see it.
Cool. About what we would expect. And it started. Cool. Looks like Senki started a little earlier. So as we were discussing, Sakia A is of course one of the highest TWC score shots, but she only beats Marie on a mistie, so it's not really that big of a difference. This isn't one of those games with the massive differences between shots.
In my opinion, even though Sakia A is, in my opinion, the best shot type, I think all shot types do have their merit. I don't think any one shot type is like the absolute worst.
So one of the things notable in the oh yikes! I hope my Keurig machine isn't audible. I have to make more coffee because it's so early in the morning. One of the things that's a little annoying about the earlier games is that you don't get the instant point of collect at low power, so the players will have to manually get their power items. However, PCB does have a nice feature in the borders, which lets you auto-collect items. Now, the players, depending on the strategy they use, will, if they're going for the spam power strat in stage 6, they're going to want to avoid getting max power, and max power is defined by having 128 power. And when you get up to max power, basically what happens is the entire screen of bullets will just clear out. So if you save you're getting your max power clear till stage 6, which has an infamous spam section, you can basically mostly cheese it. It's still not free even if you do that, but that's kind of what the meta has evolved into. I'm not sure if both of them are going to go for that. I'm curious to see how Sakia will handle it, because she has decent spread and homing, so she can kind of still, for lack of a better term, thug it out on the spam section, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, Shodan is at 126 right now,
yeah, I don't
so that's going to be a lot of power to dodge if he is going for it.
Wait,
I think
interesting.
126 is where you should be. If you're trying to do the cheese section, it should be 126, 127. And like you said, it's not free, because if you do it too early, it could really mess you up. So you just have to time it well.
Interesting, though.
But you can see the difference in power between both, because even though Marissa started later, she actually finished Letty before Sakia did. So
Okay, so Shodan is not going for the power cancel, so we're just gonna see a Marissa spam without... Okay, so the reason why Marissa is infamously worse at the spam than the other shots is because she doesn't have a lot of spread, so she cannot cover a large area of the screen at one time. And the spam section, which is a bit silly to be talking about it this early on, but trust me, it's literally the most relevant part of the game, so it does matter. It basically covers most of the screen. So with Marissa's limited spread, she's gonna have a hard time, and we'll see that later on.
yeah,
Also,
neither opt for the clear, so maybe they're just confident that they can, like you said, thug it out.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited to see them. Oh, well, thankfully it's early on, so that's not too much time lost. Yeah, we're just gonna see both players trust in their dodging skill and, a little spice of luck too, because no matter how good you are at spam, that section is really volatile, and luck is kind of an element that always goes into the spam.
Yeah, and occasionally Chen's mid-boss spell, even though Chen isn't the worst stage 2 boss, her mid-boss can be tricky. You kind of have to get slightly lucky on it. But right now, Senki is doing absolutely phenomenal. They have a very fantastic run so far. But knowing Marissa's power, Shodan might catch up quick.
Oh yeah, Marissa A. One of her best perks is that she just has phenomenal damage. She has really good DPS. She doesn't have that, well, from far away, she has the best DPS in the game, but Reimu B, if you're shotgunning, gets even more DPS, but it doesn't look like we'll be seeing Reimu today, so...
Perhaps not.
Alright, please don't die on spell 1. I know it's, like, hard in quotes, but... You know, the screen shake, you know, it's nothing like, you know, the Raiko screen shakes and whatnot.
Usually happens
First
at
time
the
playing
least scary
Raikos.
part of the spell.
Ah, look at this Sakia A privilege. Okay, Sakia A is a little funny because her homing can hit from like, it's like all of her shots home, but they don't like home too aggressively, but as long as you're not like, as long as the boss isn't like on the other side of the screen, the shots are usually going to hit them. So Sakia A can just dodge in the corner for a lot of difficult attacks. And like not, because like you think of like Reimu A, right? And like if you're only using your homing, your main shots are going to miss. But Sakia A is a bit unique because all of her shots are still going to hit, even if like you're not under the boss, because they all home. So it's a neat little privilege that she gets.
Yeah, and compared to Reimu, in my opinion, compared to Reimu, I feel like Sakia's homing is more suited towards bosses, whereas Reimu's is good against bosses, but I'd say it's more suited towards the stage portion.
Yeah. Reimu A's best perk is her stages. Also, this is Kimon Tonko, which is notoriously tricky for a stage 2 pattern, but Sakia A doesn't have to work to stay under the bosses, so she has a little advantage there. But
Yeah, I think that went pretty well. I think that as far as like homing shots go, Sakuya A and the fact that her whole shot hits the boss makes her really feel like you're playing what you'd imagine a homing shot to be, compared to most of the Reimu homing shots in the series where you want to stay under the boss anyway.
Right. And another factor is the cherry border system. So it's not, obviously no one wants to get hit, but if they feel in danger of a spell card, maybe it's too tricky for them, it's how will they time getting a cherry border in time for that difficult part or the part that they're worried about.
yeah, the cherry borders themselves have a funny little perk, which I'm not sure if we'll actually see. There is a spell card in stage 5 where someone might use it. Basically, when the border times out, you have a slight little window of iframes where you can just hop through bullets and not get hit. So that might be seen. Oh no, that's
too bad.
Unfortunate.
Rough.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool to see an iframe abuse at some point during this match. And worth noting, by the way, Marisa A here, very good at getting borders pretty fast. Whereas Sakuya A, not really.
If you unfocus with Sakuya A, she does get him a little quicker than obviously focus, but it's still, compared to Mari A, she definitely has the disadvantage there.
Right. I guess I should mention that it's more relevant for scoring, but basically, to get the borders, you see that the number in the bottom left, this is the pink number with the plus. Once that gets to 50,000, that's when the players get their border. If you're shooting at enemies, stage enemies unfocused, that'll increase. If you shoot at bosses, it will increase whether you're focused or unfocused, but the rate increases faster if you're unfocused. Stage enemies while shooting focused does not increase that number. And finally, when you grab those pink cherry items, that also increases your cherry plus. Like I said, I'm not going to go too much into it because that's a discussion for the scoring match in the future, but it's a little relevant on Survival 2.
Yeah, a little more scoring oriented, of course, but I wanted to bring it up anyway, just because if any of them do try for border iframe abuse, then like the speed at which you get those borders usually is going to be a factor, of course.
And this is why PCB is
an Elgato sword.
And this is why PCB is considered one of, if not the best game for beginners, because the cherry border allows you to go through a spell card just with a little less, danger in mind. Because if you get hit, no big deal.
Where?
Yeah, this is always the game I recommend people. Like, if someone just started Touhou for the first time ever and just wanted to just experience it and just get a 1cc, I would always choose. I would always recommend PCB. It was my first normal 1cc.
Yeah, this game was my first and so far only Lunatic 1cc. And I wanted it to be this game because it also happens to be my favorite game, which is why I'm excited to be on commentary today, because it's by far my favorite Touhou game and just one of my favorite video games just in general.
Yeah, this used to be my favorite game too, and then another game kind of stole my soul, but...
Yeah, that'll happen. PCB is not my favorite Touhou game, but honestly, I really love how the borders interact with all different angles of gameplay between survival, scoring, and even just standard 1cc's. I think it is one of, if not the best mechanics in Touhou.
So I do want to talk a little bit. Marissa A actually, or the Marissas actually kind of struggle on this stage a bit because they're not the best at crowd control, and the enemies are coming from all different places on the screen. However, it's a lot of the stage, at least the first part of the stage, is streaming, and then post mid-boss. Actually, we should talk about this spell real quick. This spell is deceptively annoying because normally when you shoot down the dolls, their lasers don't activate, but sometimes a laser will activate even though the sprite doesn't show that a laser is spawning, and you'll just die. It's bugged, and it's very rare, but it does happen. I'm pretty sure it's happened on TWC before, or maybe I'm just misremembering, but yeah.
It's happened to me once or twice. When I was trying to do my Lunatic 1cc, it is quite annoying occasionally. And another thing about Marissa is, yeah, like you said, she's not good at crowd control. That's true. Even her unfocused shot, just look how just narrow it is. It's, yeah, unless you're able to really move around quick, crowd control and just clearing enemies is not exactly her strong suit.
Okay. I'm gonna be toxic here. I think Alice's opener is the scariest pattern on Alice for me. I know people will say the final spell. That's a respectable opinion, but for me, it's non-1. I don't know if that makes me weird, but
actually,
no,
I
non-1 is tricky. Non-1 is absolutely a tricky fight.
But I would personally even find her mid-spell scarier for exactly the reasons you were just talking about. Just me personally, but in the main fight, yeah, non-1 is the one I'm probably gonna die to with anything.
I wanna direct chat to look at this amazing non-spill where absolutely nothing happens for no discernible reason. I don't know why that non doesn't have a health bar. I don't know why it just cancels on its own, but that's a mystery. And you know what's even crazier is that in one of the demo versions of PCB, that non-spell actually does something. So something went bugged somewhere and it just never got fixed. So yeah. There isn't too much to say on Alice, but I will point out that her little gimmick is that on her spells she has those dolls, and when you kill the dolls they drop items, and it's a little bit relevant for getting borders, but I don't really think there's much iframe abuse that you would use, except for maybe the last spell, which we'll talk about when it comes up.
Yeah, and that's a credit to PCB, how many resources you get, just how many things drop. Resources coming in from everywhere, whether it's Alice's dolls, enemies, like resources are abundant in this game. The only other game that might have more resources may be DDC, but DDC requires you to be brave, whereas PCB just kind of throws resources just straight at you.
Alright, so this is an infamous spell card here because the bullets love to wall you and clump up. You have to be aggressive. You cannot let this spell bully you. You have to be aggressive. You have to look ahead, and you have to be able to find, because there's always going to be a gap, but it's an intimidating spell for sure.
And look how much reset time just went down, and that was only stage 3.
Yeah. What is it with bosses in this game and having really weird final spells? You got Chen, you got Alice, you got Prism Rivers, you got Yuyuko, I guess. And no, Yomu. Do you respect Yomu's final? Because that thing...
That's the scariest thing in the fight.
Yeah, I think so,
anyway.
Letty's like the only character who doesn't have like an annoying final. I mean, it's
annoying on 1cc because it's rank affected on some difficulties, I think.
She's a stage 1 boss, but stage 1, doesn't always mean easy. I'm playing Mountain of Faith, and Minorico is really
Oh my god.
quite the
I hate
task.
Minorico final. I hate it so much.
Very different beast compared to Letty.
Alright, so now we're gonna see a shot type which can completely decimate the stage. Sakie-A's spread and her, and even the homing to some extent is really nice, although it was mentioned earlier, Hourai, that the homing is more useful on the bosses for Sakie-A, whereas with Reimu-A, it's kind of the opposite.
Yeah, and to me, Sakia doesn't necessarily. I mean, it would be great if the homing did work on the stage as well, but on the unfocused rather. But she really doesn't need it because, like you said, she's got a fantastic spread. She's gonna clear regardless.
I do want to point out that the spread is a little bit weak, but also the way Zune balances his HP bars, he always makes the stage enemies have like no HP basically, and then so weaker shots, even like Reimu-A, will just kill the regular fairies like popcorn, but then struggle on bosses a bit. Yeah, I did notice that the enemies do get tankier. They got tankier as early as DDC, to be honest. Stage 1's a good example, but in PCB,
got a little scary.
dropping the 1-up.
Oof.
I mean, you don't really need it on World Cup, so well, not World Cup survival.
Suppose not. And actually, they're not doing the power cancel strat, but low lives is pretty common to see in PCB survival on PWC, isn't it?
They seem confident in being able to handle the last stage's infamous part. So let's see how they tackle it.
I have a lot of respect for them both being brave on spam. Not that I would disrespect someone for rooting. Obviously, that's kind of how metas evolve, but it's really cool that we're just gonna see like the spam at its max capacity. Oh yeah, this game does have rank like EOSD, but it's not that relevant, but there's a few patterns that are affected by it. Like there's like a Prism River pattern, which we'll see on Marissa, and then the spam. I was told that the spam was affected by rank, but it's so chaotic anyway, I don't even know if that matters. Because it's like spam is like one of the like, okay, books in EOSD at low rank is noticeably easier, but spam is hard regardless of your rank.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you don't know the route, or if you don't have your strategy, your rank could be whatever you want it to be. Oof, unlucky break. You're gonna get walled and you will die. So, yeah, know your routes.
So it does seem like these players are demanding LNN in the first few stages. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I guess because they're both going for like actual spam, they want to conserve their misses for the late game. I guess that makes sense for a game like PCB.
Yeah. Hope they're not stuck at stage 3 forever though, because we are running out of time little by little, and I mean, Alice, she's kind of one of the more concentrated points of difficulty in the run before Yomu.
But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Alice is the type of boss that just really, really rewards practice. But, I mean, yeah, she isn't free, and it is understandable to die once in a while on her.
Yeah, she could be quite a hater. Like she can hate you sometimes. Again, like compared to like Kagero and Sanyo, not too bad, but definitely not to be underestimated.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Russian dolls earlier, I think Senki kind of just picked the wrong spot and got a little cornered. So probably an avoidable error if they remember it next time.
Marissa is
PCB
so powerful. She killed that while Chen was still moving.
And even though PCB is long, meaning like the reset time isn't as much as you would think. Because Marissa's got just so much damage, she can definitely make use of that time a little more than Sakuya. Sakuya, as great as her shot type is, she is rather weak. Not incredibly weak, but there is, as you can see, a notable difference between the damage output between the two.
One little funny quirk about Marissa A is that her shots fire really slowly, so you might notice on the stages the shots kind of delay a bit, which can be used to like fire in advance to do some crowd control. That's something you might see on the second half of stage 3. Interesting. Shodan does this in one stream swoop. Might have been better to do 2 streams there, but I respect the courage and strat, I guess.
I had not paid attention to that before, but that's probably just what they practiced, and it just went a little wrong that time. Too bad.
Okay, so we are in what they call the phenomenon early game jail. It happens to everyone. Do not be ashamed.
It is quite annoying. You know, you want to get through it. You want to get the 1 TC, and you're struggling. Man, why am I dying to stage 1 and 2 enemies? These are supposed to be like the warm-ups before the actual game starts. But no, it happens, and it happens a lot, and it's just something you just gotta deal with.
Something I want to point out too, and because it's very important to note that Touhou is kind of a marathon unfriendly game, and so you know what you see isn't necessarily the player's worst or best. You know, a really good player can just have a hard time, because if you're just capturing 85 minutes of any grinding session, that grinding session can either be really good or really bad. So it's not like, even though the players are dying a lot, it does not mean that they are not skilled. It just means that Touhou is hard, and it's just normal to die, you know?
At the end of the day, it's a shmup. It's a bullet hell. There's so many different projectiles and bullets coming from all different directions that, yeah, like you said, even the most skilled player, and these two are extremely skilled players, even the most skilled players just die. It's just, we're all human at the end of the day, so, and sometimes it's just overwhelming.
Oh, George, you're talking about, there actually used to be this tournament hosted by Japan back in the early 2010s. Yes, I've been around that long. Where the players would be given one singular credit to do no bomb, and so if they like died in stage 1, they'd just have to accept it and keep going. I think it was called Sukuata.
Yeah, something like that sounds very.
Oh no! I'm not. I know.
do.
I know what you're referring to, George. I'm willfully. Yeah. I did want to bring up Sukuata though. It's a cool figment of the past, you know.
I haven't heard of that in a long, long time. I was not around for that, or if they were active, I was not in the early 2010s. Anyway. This is not the first time we have seen amazing players get stuck on the early stages.
We
so
are
switching
actually
shot type to
Marissa. Is it A or B? I didn't see. Oh, I guess it's Marissa A, because does the laser? I should know this. Does the laser appear at 0 power?
You know, I don't remember either.
Yeah, it's one of those things you don't really think about. I think it's Marissa A. But...
Oh, they found a safe spot.
Oh yeah, that's just like you stand in the center, you don't get hit. So it doesn't work on lower diffs, I think, because on Lunatic they like fire around you. Okay, so we're seeing dual Marissa A. Now I'm wondering, will Senki go for the full power? I think he probably, or they probably won't. Just because like if they weren't doing it with Sakuya A, I don't want to think that they would. But if they do, that would be cool. It'd be something to compare
Marissa does
between
have the worst spam in general.
Oh man, but I'm not seeing my goat Sakuya A anymore. No. But Marissa's also fun to watch as well.
Yeah.
Actually, like just the amount of damage that Marissa can do. Marissa's all about DPS, so it's still very fun to watch Marissa. Just how much damage she can just put on board.
Oh yeah, an interesting thing to note about PCB spell histories is that they do not save unless you finish a run. So that means that this person finished over 100 runs, but that could just mean practice. So that, I mean, maybe they did 100 full runs. You never know.
Okay, last year that was very unfortunate. If you know, you know.
Alright, Chet, how are we gonna get out of early game jail?
I need to see Alice defeated.
We need some kind of ritual.
What?
No one has
don't
ruined
defeat
my
Alice.
Lunatic once EC attempts more than Alice. I need to see her defeated before the reset time ends.
I don't really want Alice to lose, but I want the players to win even more, so I guess I agree. That being said, I think what's going to happen is Senki, having switched to a new shot, is looking at the whole game with a fresh mindset and is locking in. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And
I wonder
Shodan
if the
knows this,
players
so
are
he gets
tracking
to
the
too.
others. I mean, when I played in TWC before, I didn't even look at the other players at all for the most part because, yeah, nerves and psychic damage, but I mean, sometimes
That
you
does
gotta
risk
know.
psychic damage, but
Yeah.
some players will look at each other to some extent and change strategies to adjust for each other.
Yeah. I think in the first few TWCs I played, I didn't look at the other players at all because I didn't want to know. But then, you know, eventually I did realize it sometimes is a good idea to kind of see how you're comparing to know, like, I guess if one person completes a run and then the other player notices, okay, I should switch so I can beat them. Although right now they're both still stuck in early. We haven't even seen stage 4 once. That's a little concerning. We are almost at the 30-minute mark, or 30 minutes down, because we started at 85. So,
And another reason why stage 1, early stage jail is so hard, because in my opinion, players can't really get into this like flow state until like stages 3 or 4. In my opinion, that's when they're truly like really flowing and really playing their best. As opposed to stage 1 and 2, it's very early game. You're not really flowing yet. So yeah, a lot of people. That's how I find when I get stuck in stage 1 jail. That's kind of what happens. I'm not in that like, you know, truly locked in flow state.
the decision to do only one stream on that is interesting, but I mean, if you can back it up, by all means. Thankfully, I don't think Marissa A, she doesn't really have the mid boss bug, but you know, maybe it can still happen.
Good clear.
So yeah,
And they got the
Marissa
one-up.
A is very interesting on the second half of stage 3 because you'll see those those fairies with the spell circles around them. You need to hunt them down because that's a border break.
miss.
You need to hunt those fairies down because if you let them fire, the screen will get out of control pretty quickly. So Marissa A's high speed, high movement speed, and delayed shots can kind of help with that. Okay.
By the way, did we mention the rules for border breaks?
I don't think we have yet. But I
Yeah,
think they were on the slides.
Yeah, basically just if you get hit by a bullet during a border, that's the same as a regular miss, but if you press X during a border, that counts as 2 misses, just like the first bomb.
Yeah, cherry borders. When you're starting
Oh, he
playing
snapped his
Touhou
first
and you want to
bomb
get
with
your
any bomb.
first multi-C, fantastic mechanic. But in the World Cup survival, sometimes it can actually be a hindrance more than a help. So it depends on how they use them.
At least these players aren't going for the full power cancel.
We'll definitely see that in the main match. Probably anyway. That means if both players are playing Marissa A, though, we're going to be seeing spam at max capacity. So that'll be fun.
Hopefully
I do want to say that Marissa A, although she cannot home like Sakuya A, she does a lot of damage, so the final spell's going to go down pretty quickly.
Yeah, and in the very beginning, Shodan, because Senki started with Sakuya A, Shodan started with Marissa A. Even though Shodan started fairly later than Senki, they were able to actually reach stage 2 quicker than Senki just because of Marissa's high damage output.
Thing I want to point out with Marissa is that even Marissa B, both of the Marissas are really solid at the entire game. It's just spam. Like it's just spam that's so difficult and annoying that it kind of hurts her a lot for Ellen and N. But she's a really good shot type to get a 1 miss with. The spam, the mythical spam that I hope we eventually get to see. It is quite crazy. It's very un-PCB like, but
they just have to deal with a certain puppeteer first.
It is very un-PCB like, though. Indeed, it's so much different.
It's very like
else.
it's very chaotic and really disorganized, very messy for something you'd see in PCB, but it's iconic. The spam is very iconic.
Senki missed the 1-up, but they really don't need it.
No, they don't need it. You can still get max lives even without the 1-up.
Yeah, PCB, like I said, it's like DDC when it comes to resources, except you just don't need to be as brave as DDC. Alright, Alice fight. Let's see.
Take the opener.
I agree with Hourai. I think the opener I think it was Hourai that you mentioned it, Alice's non-1. It is scary, especially the rice bullets, because they're just so hidden behind each other well that it can be scary. It's forced to Benny bomb out of me.
I think Mino brought it up and I concur.
No, I brought it up.
Oh, okay.
It's just every time I play this game for survival, I find myself more nervous on non-1 than on anything else Alice has. I don't know, it's a me thing, but I just do.
The red bullets aren't too bad.
Oh no!
But those
Not
white rice
early
bullets,
on.
yeah, they're scary.
So one thing, the way that Alice spell works,
Sakuya.
the one that back to Sakuya.
Is this
I
A or
think
B?
The goat is
B?
back.
I think it's A.
Okay. Couldn't tell for a moment.
Yeah, because the
Yeah,
shots
Sakuya
aren't
A.
like they're not like the unfocused shot for Sakuya B would be like moving back and forth.
もういいかなこらめっかもう一度
For some reason it looked like her for a moment.
Oh, I'm just happy to see the goat back. Sakuya A.
I guess Senki decided that wasn't working. Something going on wrong with Orleans
Yeah.
dolls, which is pretty understandable since that is the kind of spell with depending on how you learn it might benefit a lot from Sakuya A's advantages.
Yeah, that's one of the spells where Sakuya A can just kind of camp. It's a kind of an interesting spell. It's like randomly rotated, but it's like a fixed pattern, and there's like 3 different variants of it, and they overlap, and they're like randomly rotated and oriented or something like that. It's like Memo, but not Memo at the same time. But if you play it enough, you get used to it.
People would put a lot of effort into memorizing everything it can do, basically, or something approximating that.
People are saying to please get to stage 4. Stage 1 jail, like early stage jail, is very real, and we're seeing it today. But for some reason, I believe this is Shodan's run to get to stage 4. I have a feeling.
You know what? I'm with you. This looks like a pretty sweet run. After a Kimon Tonko like that, this has got to be a winner.
I've always liked the atmosphere of Stage 3 in this game. I like how like creepy and cool and like mysterious it is. I like how emotional the song is. One of my favorite Stage 3 themes in the entire series. Might even be my favorite Stage 3 theme, honestly.
Yeah, it's very fitting, especially for the game. Even the background is really nice. It's a really great Stage 3. And Alice is also, as much as she hated me during my Lunatic 1cc attempts, she is a very fun fight. She is actually very fun to fight, in my opinion.
I have far too many positive things to say about Alice, and those are some of them. I love Alice.
Oh yeah,
this stage is indeed very
your name,
atmospheric.
Hourai, your avatar. I mean, Alice is one of my favorite characters. I think at one point she was my favorite character, but it always swapped between like Yuyuko, Yukari, Alice. I just like the PCB cast.
They work so well with each other. Yeah, my favorite from PCB is definitely Yomu. She's actually my 4th favorite character overall, so yeah, PCB absolutely has and Ron is my 6th favorite character, so PCB, they definitely have a very incredible cast.
Shout out to the somewhat underrated Prison Rivers, too.
Yeah, and they have a very fun fight, in my opinion. Well, I know Merlin's curvy lasers. If Senki commits to Sage A, the curvy lasers on her Nam 1 is going to be a pain. But it is actually a pretty fun fight. I do like the Prism. I agree. I like the Prism Rivers.
Yeah, I wish they appeared and shoot the bullet. They kind of got disrespected there. I don't know why Zune didn't include them.
Okay, so far so good. I hope I didn't jinx the run by saying this might be where we see Stage 4.
I wish I want to know the mystery behind what happened with that non.
I think it was just one of those things that Zune wanted to put in, but maybe like last second he just said, actually just never mind.
No, because the demo version of this game, that non functions properly. So something went wrong between the demo and the full release, and the non just broke and never got fixed. Oh, people are saying it's some kind of typo.
Zune code typo.
That would do it. Okay, I hope this is it.
Right.
Honestly, at 47 minutes left, this is the point where you'd start considering continuing the run.
Oh, absolutely. PCB is a pretty slow game, so I think each player can probably do one full run and then another with just 2 runs max with the time they have.
Yeah, I'd say for a full run from start to finish, not including Imperishable Light with 2 routes.
Okay.
No, they should have. They would have been fine if they had stayed low. Oh, that's unfortunate.
I had like a sliver of health.
And the other
both
we are actually just stuck.
They dodged
But I was gonna say, aside from Imperishable Light, which has 2 routes, I think from start to finish, I think PCB does have the longest, basically the longest game from stage 1 through 6, in my opinion. Even if you're using a high damage shot like Marissa.
Is it longer than Volke? I don't know the lengths off the top of my head, but I'd imagine Volke with like Sana or something might be a little slower.
Maybe, yeah. Especially stage 5 is like the entire game, like 50% of the game itself.
Yeah, I may be wrong. Anyway, that was a devastating Hourai doll staff right after he dodged that massive clump of bullets.
They had she had like 2 HP left. trying to think of PC. I mean, yeah, early game jail. Alice is really proving to be the warden of early game jail at this moment.
Gosh. Yeah, we've seen 2 Hourai dolls deaths, at least one to one of the mid-spout nons, and one to Orleon, and am I forgetting? And one to Russian dolls.
And Shodan had a good strategy in the beginning. They started at the top left to kind of, guide the bubble bullets to them, basically guide everything to them initially. And because, again, they're using Marissa, high damage, they can just do that strat and then go down and try and quickly kill her before getting overwhelmed. But Alice is very quick at overwhelming you. Doesn't matter what strategy you're using. It was a very good strategy though. They pretty much had game there.
Yeah, I am interested to see how they handle the late game, though, if we can get there. It's the kind of routes they have, and I'm wondering if Lily's gonna be taking any runs. Lily is, I mean, yeah, she's fairly difficult.
Don't let her ability of her power of being able to announce spring. Not sure how that's a power, but sure. Don't let that. Don't underestimate her, because she's ended runs, especially if you're a Phantasmagoria Flower View player. Sometimes she could be the last thing you want to see.
It's a pretty terrifying power if you have allergies.
Like me, I'd be pretty scared of. I have allergies actually. Lily White actually terrifies me. But at least she warns me, so I can go and get my medicine.
Oh, that's true. It is helpful. Yeah, I guess you guys were kind of talking about this earlier, but seeing that we're still getting resets from the players, I really think you guys were right about, I don't remember who said it, but we were talking about how the fact that they're not doing the power cancel strat means they probably are expecting a late game death, possibly to spam in particular to some extent.
Yeah, we're about halfway past reset time, which, yeah, with this game, it goes down quick. Because like Mino said, it's a pretty slow game, so yeah, that reset time, like I said, it's not as big as you think it is. 85 minutes may seem like a lot. For this game, it's not. For a more faster-paced game, you have more time, but for this game, yeah, it's if you make it to stage 4 and you were set in stage 4, you lost a lot of time.
It is kind of a dilemma because let's say the players do proceed and they end up dying a lot in the late game. The quality, if you reset a lot and you try to get the best quality run possible, that can pay off if you can get that run in the end. I remember there was actually a PCB match, I think it was 2021, where I think it was Ghost had a bit of trouble getting a run going, but on their final run they got like a 1 miss no bomb with Sakia A to spam, and they ended up winning. So it was like a major comeback. So
yeah, can't happen, and I suppose it's up to the player to know what's best for them.
I'm happy to see that the players aren't getting bullied too much by Chen.
That's right on cue.
I was gonna make a joke about how, don't worry, I'm not Gustari, nothing's gonna happen, but
that couldn't have happened at a more perfect time.
Unfortunate.
I always... Oh. I guess we have Gastari at home.
Close enough. Although, humorous timing aside, I'm not too happy to see that death at this point.
Right.
Should we do like a Joel spam so the players can get past the early game?
Oh, it looks like Senki's gonna make it through Chen.
I'm gonna put a Joel.
Summoning support
Gastari
from the
in the
chat.
works. That's hysterical.
Suddenly really tense. Just listening to the music. It's a good song. Probably rather, I mean, I don't know. I would think this is a more nerve-wracking song compared to something like PCB Stage 4 theme, especially when you have to make dodges like that.
Oh yeah, Sakia A is not as effective at killing the dolls because her power is just in general weaker. So, you know, they can kind of be weird. You can see her spread is really good at crowd control here, though. Way easier
even though
than
it is weak,
Marissa
even
A.
though it is weak, like you pointed out, just the massive amount of spread, and enemies aren't too bulky at this point anyway. It's just really good. But once we hit stage 4, that's when enemies are going to start bringing the bulk, which Sakia might suffer a little bit.
I'm thinking something, but I'm not gonna say it. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna say it really quick. No one's died to Non-1 yet. I don't think anyone's died to Non-1.
I love how you waited for it to end before saying that.
Well, I don't know. I was wondering if,
To be fair.
yeah, if they're thinking about it. But... Oh no! If someone dies to Non-2, that's just tragedy.
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as dying to like Oku Non-1. At that point, just take your L.
It's 3 times worse than dying to Rainbow Ring of People. Precisely 3 times worse.
In general, though, it is good to be higher on the screen because these bullets do spread out. So that's kind of why the players are pushing upwards. It was just unfortunate what happened earlier, but
Yeah.
it is kind of how you do it.
I predict Senki is going to clear Alice right now.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened that last time when Senki died to it. Just something about how the bumps of bullets were intersecting right around them.
Spring Kyoto Dolls just kind of, yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. The real threat is the final.
Okay, good. Oh, here it comes.
Alright.
One little fun tidbit about this spell is that it is technically aimed in your direction, so you can misdirect it. Actually, with Sakia A, you can move around quite a bit and kind of get away with. But I think they're just kind of standing under the boss, which is fine as well.
Shodan did the same strat with Marissa A.
Oh, yes.
Finally, I did it. Called it.
And we have a live run. Or so I say, but I mean... hopefully nothing goes wrong in stage 4 first half, right?
What could possibly go wrong?
Like, I don't think anything bad will happen in stage 4 first half.
No, not a Sakia. There's one part I'm thinking of, but Sakia would do fine on it, to be honest. Oh yeah, these are aimed so you can sidestep them.
And for the last wave, just move out the way like that. Perfect.
Yeah, this stage is very, very long, but it's not particularly challenging for survival.
Right.
The highlight of this stages are the bosses.
It's definitely a marathon, but it's not super bad. It's not like LOL-K Stage 5 where it's a marathon, but it's a marathon that you're running barefoot on lava.
Interesting how they're... Oh yeah, you can technically stream this, I guess. And with Sakia it's even easier because she can just home in and kill things. This is a part I was referring to, but it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, people are calling for pacifist Stage 4, and Senki's pretty pacifist.
Yeah, it's because the enemies on this stage, some of them will fire if you shoot at them. And they'll still fire even though you don't shoot, but what they fire is a lot easier than if you would have shot at them. If you don't shoot at them, they just fire the green aim stuff, which you can just stream.
Yeah,
There's
the one that's at the end are especially
after Lily. I guess I'll talk about it when it's after Lily. But there really isn't anything to say about this part. It's just streaming.
Alright, here she comes.
Alright, here she
It is
comes.
spring.
I will say that Sakia A can probably get away with dodging on the side, which is safer than dodging in the middle. Also, they have a border, so they could do iframes if they're feeling gutsy enough, but...
Yeah, I wonder, maybe that's why they stopped shooting some of the fairies earlier?
Yeah, this is Sakia A privilege right here. But that was a really well done escape though. It got Wally, so they went to the side. I mean, I would do that even as a focus forward shot. Okay, this part is funny, where you have to memorize which enemies to kill and which ones not to. Some of them, if you shoot them, they'll fire really crazy things. Some of them, if you don't shoot them, they'll fire crazy stuff, so you have to kill them. You know, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Spring is officially here.
I find knowing which part starts when to be a bit of a pain because I don't always kill Lily at the same time in my runs. But usually you can follow them just by seeing what they fire if you read it fast enough.
Interesting decision to pacify here, but I guess it's really a threatening part, so... I guess, I mean, you learn something new every day. I didn't even know this was a safe spot.
Well...
Alright, this is like the how do I say it? If you stream too much, you'll get caught off guard, but it's kind of like a all bark, no bite section. It's trying to scare you, but it's not actually that bad.
Yeah, it took me forever to figure out, like, it's really, like you said, all bark, no bite. It's not as threatening. Don't get too overconfident, but it's not as threatening as you might think it is.
And then PCB is doing the, oh, I can do Death Fairies too, except it's just Memo, it's not.
Perfect. Alright, we're seeing a Prism River fight.
Yeah, so the Prism Rivers
Shodan had to reset.
They're a triple boss. However, there are moments on the fight where you fight only one of the sisters, but the starting Prism River will change depending on who you play as. If you're playing as Sakia, you fight Merlin, Marissa fights Lyrica, Reimu fights Lunasa.
And there are those curvy lasers which are the bane of most players' existence.
Yeah,
but on
not if you do this strat though.
Yeah, this strat, they're completely irrelevant. I mean, yeah, you can just kind of stream this non, so it's Memo.
This
yeah,
non is also like
lining up with the
very
Xbox
easy.
a little earlier before this non started. That's what you have to do as Sakia if you want to do that.
Yeah, it's normally thought that Lunasa is the hardest, but even I don't really know that because there's some border iframe shenanigans you can do. Okay, so very important thing to say here. Not about the spell itself, it's just streaming, but the Prism River that you damage the most is who you fight in the middle of the fight. So,
and people usually opt to kill Lyrica, or at least do more damage to her because she is considered to be the easiest one. She still can be tricky, but pretty tame, especially compared to Lunasa. Yeah. Even though there is an argument to be made that Merlin is also, aside from her non-1, if you're not used to it,
you know, it's
she could be tricky. She is not super bad as well.
You know what's really fun? Lunasa hard mode just has like this really weird spell that I think is only on hard and is like weirdly hard for no reason. I mean, yeah, it's hard mode, so, but that's not really relevant because we're playing on Lunatic and we probably will never see, and even on scoring, it's always Lyrica, just always Lyrica.
Yeah, for survival, I'm actually partial to Merlin's spell because it's just a little bit less effort than Lyrica's, in my opinion, if you just get her to move right.
Another thing to note, even though you're fighting all three Prism Rivers at once, the one that you fought in the middle of the fight will take the most damage, so just keep that in mind.
Wait, really?
I believe so, I think.
Wait. You mean the one you fought in the middle takes more damage now?
Yeah, I think so.
Really? I didn't know that.
Let's see. So right now they're shooting. Oh, they're shooting all of them. So yeah, I feel like when Seki shoots Lyrica, the health bar goes down just ever faster. I could be wrong though. It might just be like a me thing.
I don't know of any variants on which you shoot at.
I'll have to check that.
All right, we're seeing stage 4, we're seeing stage 5.
Oh yeah, we kind of missed it earlier, but Shodan did die again to Alice, I believe. So hopefully getting a run off the ground approximately now.
Yeah, I think that what I just said about the prison, I think that was just a me thing. That might just be like...
Yeah, not to like dismiss you or anything, but...
No, I don't know I gotcha.
I've never...
Yeah, I have not heard that. That would be very interesting if it were true, though. Should ask them sometime.
Anyway, stage 5 is not really a problem on the stage itself. There is like a cute little spam section, but it's not really...
The one at the end, you mean? Or...
Yeah, but it's kind of, it can like crit roll you, but it's not really, it's nothing compared to what you see at stage 6.
And in my opinion, I know PCB obviously is arguably the best game for beginners. I still think Yomu is a very tricky stage 5 boss. Again, it could be a me thing, but I think Yomu is very difficult.
No, Yomu is actually difficult, like genuinely just a tricky boss. There's no shame in thinking that. Everyone pretty much agrees Yomu is hard.
For sure.
Alright, going for the pacifist on her first non. On her mid-boss non, rather, but...
Yeah, these nons are all cheesable.
Not the cheese, just the pacifist, I mean.
Oh,
yeah. See the cheese.
Yeah, that's a little interesting. I wonder why...
Does it skip the spell?
Perfect.
They might be skipping it. Okay, yeah, that would make sense. Okay, the spell is weird. I guess we won't get to see it until Shodan gets here, but it would have introduced Yomu's little gimmick, which I guess I'll talk about when we get to her main boss. But it crit rolls, and so it is. Yeah, it's actually understandable. I respect this. I get why they would skip it. You know.
Yeah. I very much understand it. I'm surprised I've never seen that, actually.
Yeah, I mean...
Yomu's gimmick is weird. You might think it's not as bad to do because of how it works, but in actuality, it's tricky.
Okay, so now we are approaching the hardest fight in the game for survival. I wouldn't say this is the hardest part in the game, but the fight overall for survival, Yomu's absolutely the hardest. I don't even think that's debatable.
Nope, it really is.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay, so Hell God Sword, which is spell 1, is very notorious, the hardest spell card to dodge in the game. It introduces, well, the mid-boss would have introduced it, but basically Yomu slows down time. It's not exactly the same as Sakuya stopping time. I guess the way Zune balanced it is that the bullet densities are pretty high, but because of the slow... Oh, iframe abuse,
Nice.
that was amazing.
Nice.
That was good. Basically,
No!
I'm really okay.
Yeah, it's too late in the
just
game
a
for
little
reset.
too
Just play
big.
it out.
Yeah,
It's too
I'm
late.
surprised. I'm surprised though, considering this is PCB hitboxes. I would have
Yeah.
expected that in EOSD, but really PCB? I'm surprised that actually registered as a hit.
Notice, by the way, that Senki is dodging the power items. If you're
Yep.
gonna die on Yoimu, might as well get ready for that spam cancel.
Yeah.
It's kind of like yeah, you just don't want to miss twice, so you can kind of try to take away. Hey, what were you gonna say?
Also, Yomu's gimmick, because like the whole, it's kind of like a quick time, slow down time. It really is to highlight how fast Yomu is, because Yomu, lore-wise, is
Yeah.
consistently one of the fastest characters in all of Touhou.
I like how they work that into giving the
Yeah.
boss.
I like how it's more
very bad
interactive.
interface.
Sakuya's gimmick was just kind of like, yeah, I spawn bullets while the time is stuck, but Yomu actually, like, you play around with the gimmick, it kind of affects you more directly. Interestingly, she doesn't use the gimmick on this spell card here.
Yeah. This is presumably Yomu's easiest spell, I think, but I have
Yeah,
seen it
it's
get
just
players
streaming.
every
And with
so often.
Sakuya A, they're not going to have any issue because they probably don't even need to restream. And even if they did, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, but there will be no need, it seems.
Oh yeah, this
when
is
you're
the
starting-
spell that I said that you needed to respect, because this spell is actually really tricky. I've never seen that misdirect before, though. That's interesting.
Even with the misdirect, they still almost got walled.
Yeah, the intended way of doing this spell is that you have to, like, get through the gap before the bullets speed up again, but sometimes it's just really mean, and sometimes you won't make it in time, the bullets will start speeding up while you're still in the bullet cluster, and it just gets tricky. And when
Alright,
you
we're
kill
seeing
this
stage
spell,
6.
if you kill this spell at an inopportune time, the bullets will just keep speeding and not slow down, and you could get killed. You could get sniped. It's okay.
Nice.
The
Now
most
prepare
guess they
for
did
the,
get max
the
power
best
at some
stage
point,
theme in the
though.
entire
they
series.
did get max power, so they're gonna have to trust him. So yeah, this is stage 6 is the hardest stage portion of the game. Absolutely. This is the chaos. It's the spam. I'll just let it speak for itself.
In my opinion, though,
Enemies-
Ultimate Truth is like the best stage theme in all of Touhou. I love this theme to pieces. It's so emotional.
Yeah.
It's just perfect.
Yeah.
Just
it's too
that
late
one
to clear
fast
now.
bullet.
Yeah, it's just a rapid flurry of enemies coming from both sides of the screen at once, and that's why Marissa struggles, because she can't handle both sides.
The Yomunan,
It's
you
just the
don't need
sheer
a cheese.
density. Oh yeah, no, this non you don't need to cheese, and it's actually even awkward if you try. And yeah, I
She
agree
gives you
about
actual
Ultimate
like room
Truth.
to breathe.
Dude, back in the day, I used to listen to Ultimate Truth on the way to exams. It just fits.
It would. And Shodan has gotten through Alice.
All right, Shodan has escaped early stage jail. All right, here comes the ghost.
Yeah, so for most bosses, the final boss is like this big event on survival, but surprisingly in this game, Yuko is really not that hard. And the reason for that is that she's not like most final bosses, where like with Ramelia and Kaguya, you'll see a lot of like random bullets, RNG BS. Yuko is very graceful, and all of her attacks are just memorization for the most part, and you know, and that's interesting. So she's very rewarding for rooting and learning and practice, and there isn't a lot of like chaotic, you know, stuff that you would expect on a final boss.
Also, her patterns are just they're just gorgeous to look at, in my opinion. They're beautiful.
Also, yeah, Shodan in Stage 4. I'm probably gonna focus more on talking about Yuko, but I will bring up that the opening Prism River will be different with Marissa. It'll be Lyrica, and that'll definitely be notable.
Lyrica non-1, such a pain.
That being said, there isn't too much. I mean, scoring Yuko is a completely different can of worms, but for survival, it is just rooting and execution. Now, I'm wondering what kind of route they'll have on this.
And they only got 20 minutes of reset time. If either one wants to reset, I think now's the time to do it.
Yeah, they can both still finish runs and start a new run. Even how long PCB is, I'm pretty sure Shodan can still finish this run and do another one. And absolutely Senki can finish a run. The dreaded 19-minute Yuko fight.
This is...
But yeah, ultimately, as much as I wanna, I mean, it's just the thing about Yuko, isn't it? Is that it's just memorization and execution. Like for this non, you want to swap between the corners in the middle because the cyan knives are, you know, at different points of the time, they're more dangerous at different parts of the screen. This spell here, it's just, I mean, people have different ways of doing this. I like to move in a triangle.
I was about to say, yeah, like a triangle pat. You say, I think they're doing the same thing. They're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to do a right triangle, like down, up, and right. That makes sense.
I think they're alternating between triangles. They did one to the right, one to the left. I think they're gonna... Okay, perfect.
Yeah. A couple ways to do that. And now for one of the scariest nons in the series. I'm just kidding, but it is a little underrated.
Yeah, the dark blue things are aimed at you, the cyan ones are aimed away from you. So you just, you know, it's kind of like a streaming non, and then you have like those green butterflies mixed in, but it's not particularly dense, so it's not really challenging.
Yeah, sometimes they
it's
have
kind of like an
annoying
like
overlaps is all.
It's kind of like an all bark, no bite kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now this spell,
here,
if you like grazing, this is the perfect spell for grazing. This is just graze the spell.
Yeah, this spell is set up so that you're hopping between different safe spots on the screen while streaming. And now for a spell that is actually a little bit tricky. The issue with this spell here is that the rice bullets that fire are fairly random, and they can cluster pretty badly if you're unlucky. Also, Lyrica opener.
Oh.
The dreaded Lyrica opener.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is a cluster.
Yeah.
And that's why it's dreaded.
You really don't want to die to that, but I also don't blame him.
It looks like they're continuing, but that's understandable given the limited reset time.
Sumizome, the random rice bullets are quite annoying, but I think it does get a lot better when you have a very solid misdirecting plan.
Yeah, this is the Zune trying to fake out the player, and then we have the true last plus.
This has definitely tripped up many a new Touhou player that were just unprepared for this. You know, you're a new player, you have zero resources, you beat Yuko, and then she pulls out this.
Alright, so this spell, the final spell, this is a Resurrection Butterfly. It is a timeout spell. You cannot shoot it down, so you just have to wait the whole thing.
I looked away. What happened?
They died again.
Oh.
I mean, if they had to reset, now is the time to do it, so...
So the only really challenging part about this spell is that you have to is dodging the red butterflies. People have different strategies. I've seen people bottom hug. I'm kind of in the camp of Senki of just trying to be aggressive and trying to move through the butterflies before they fully expand. The music is actually pretty cool as well. Like And I like how it kind of escalates at the end here. And good capture to miss no bomb.
Beautiful run by Senki. Honestly, that was a pretty good run.
I'm wondering if they're going to stay at Sakia A, if they're going to switch. They still have time for another full credit. Secure
That's
the
my
lower
mission.
space.
I want it. Good luck.
So I see Senki is a fan of Kamen Rider. I think he's referencing Kamen Rider Zets. I believe so. If they are, that's pretty cool. So that's funny. I'm on it.
Alright, back to stage 1.
Yeah, I didn't see Shodan die, but Sakuya A is gonna win on a mistie, so I suppose that does make sense.
Really surprised to see about Lunasa.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was intentional or if that was an accident, but I think you did mention that they were kind of shooting at Lunasa a lot, so it seemed deliberate, but I mean, once they get back there, we'll find out. If they go for Lunasa a second time, definitely deliberate. If they go for Lyrica, then we know it was an accident.
Yeah, the reason I wasn't sure is you did start on Lunasa, but sometimes people will start on one Prism River and move to the one they really want to shoot.
Yeah.
Maybe just
Yeah,
leave it a
the
little too long
most
for
common
Mario,
strat I see is
but-
they kind of typically start from either Lunasa or even more to the left, and then just go right until every single shot is on Lyrica, and then they could just fight her.
Oh, Reimu? Wait, Reimu? It's okay.
Oh, Marissa A?
Mario.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think it would be interesting to see Reimu A, though. Given that Reimu A seems to have been buffed in the Rubik's a bit, it'd be cool to see Reimu A. Maybe we'll see her in the main match.
It would be cool to see Reimu A. She's like only a little bit less points than Sakuya A, right? So fairly comparable, and I think still beats Mari B on the miss tie after one miss. It's only on LNN where Mari B wins. LNN, I mean.
Yeah,
And she's
Reimu
arguably
A's,
the best at clearing stages because of her homing is just so great for stages.
Yeah, Reimu A's kind of whole shtick with this game is that she's really challenging on boss fights because she's really weak, but she has the second best spam if you're not doing full power clear, because she's just really good at clearing out enemies on the spam. Sakuya B has the best spam by far because she can just angle her shots on the other side of the screen and then kill the current side of the screen with the main shots and just handle both sides at once, but we're not really seeing either for this, so maybe in the main match.
Yeah. I think Reimu A is maybe a little more likely than Sakuya B for meta reasons.
Oh,
but
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Sakuya is also a shot that does take some time getting used to. There is a slight... It's not super
Oh,
bad,
yeah,
but there's
I
a slight
noticed.
learning curve.
Senki has a little less power than you would expect, but I don't know if that means they're actually going to go for it. Someone said that. Yeah, they're avoiding power, so they might actually be going for it. Interesting. One cool thing about Marissa A is that she's really powerful anyway, and also having 127 power with her is basically the same as max power. It's kind of like EOSD.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of how the PCB meta has evolved over the years. Back in the day, if you wanted a safe, in quotes, LNN, you'd want to play a Sakuya B or Reimu A to handle spam. But now that the power clear strats have evolved, now the whole meta is carrying that full power clear into stage 6.
guess that's probably what we're gonna see, seeing that Senki's dodging the power now.
Oh, absolutely. If they've gone this far with dodging power items, they're absolutely committed to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi.
It's
Chen was
so
trying to
weird.
run
No
away
one's
there.
been dying to Chen's final lately. Can't get over that.
The one Chen final death so far. Hopefully it stays that way, though.
So the time is ticking, and we are now under 10 minutes left. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyone want to reset? It's your time now.
Oh, to answer chat, by the way, Mari B is the only one who has half point reduction on a miss. Everyone else has 40% reduction, 60% multiplier.
Yeah, Mari B is a very high risk, high reward type shot.
Only really benefits on miss ties if you're going for Ellen and N. Well, okay, still benefits over the weaker ones, but over Neighbor A and Sapia A, that is. Couple misses down the line, she falls off the others as well. Gosh, yeah, I really did think Himon Tonko was going to be the early game death we'd see a lot, if anything, but an Alice. No!
no.
Or that. Oh.
Not Alice, but her stage, so she's still partly responsible for that.
Gosh, 8 minutes left, and Shodan does not have a run, but... Well,
To
I'll
be
say
fair,
this much.
at this point, oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, knowing Shodan, even if Shodan runs out of time and is forced to just continue whatever he has, I do think that he'll be able to, I mean, not certainly, but there's a fair chance of Shodan being able to pull out 5 minutes or less anyway.
Yeah, I'm thinking at this point in time, you might as well reset before stage 4 if you can.
Yeah.
Because you're only gonna get one run now, so...
Yeah,
I hope to see
they're
a good
extremely
stage
committed to
soon, though.
They're extremely committed to clearing the spam.
Jinx aside earlier, people have been handling Kimon Tonko really well today.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you can see, even at 101 powered versus A's fired power, just damage in general is just really good. It doesn't even matter that you're not at full power, you're still gonna handle things pretty well.
Which fits into her, even her, lore. Marissa loves firepower.
Of course I waited for the capture. See, I don't really believe in, jinxes and stuff like that, but there's an uncanny realization that on these types of commentaries, I mean, there is a noticeable trend that people tend to die after you say certain things, so, I don't know. Maybe it's
When it
alright to
happens,
be a
you
little bit
notice.
superstitious, yeah. Yeah, it's just confirmation bias, you know. It's you can say oh yeah, this player's most certainly not gonna die on this, and then if they don't die on it, you will just forget that interaction and not remember it, but then if they do die, it'll pop in your head. It's oh, this is a pattern.
Yeah.
Unless it's Gastari commenting. I think Gastari is genuinely really cursed. I'm sorry, Gastari. I don't even think you're watching, but I'm sorry. You are
Yeah.
cursed.
We still love Gastari, though. Yeah, Shodan is Senki rather. They're trying their best to avoid the power items, but sometimes you just can't avoid every single one of them.
Good
Still
that there's
108
leeway.
power, so they play their cards right. They shouldn't have full power before the spam, but it's hard. It's kind of a risky number right now.
The thing about stage 4 is that stage 4 is very pacifist friendly, so they can skip out on killing a lot of things in stage 4. That makes sense. Now I'm thinking about it. I was thinking it was really weird that they were timing or not shooting a lot on stage 4 and like timing out Yomu's non-spell and stuff like that. It's because they rooted this before. They know the power clear meta, so that makes more sense.
Okay, Senki's going in the corner on Orlean, which is nice as Sakuya, maybe less so as Marie, but
I think they're just
this
kind of
counts.
used to Sakuya, so they
Alright.
did that, but...
We are good.
And it also explains why they went into the corner. I thought it was weird that they went into the bottom right corner as Sakuya, but now it all adds up.
Less than 5 minutes of reset time, so we're just about to end it. I think if they're committed to a run, they're committed to a run right now.
Yeah, and I'm definitely rooting for this to go well for Shodan, but it would be really cool if Senki manages a score improvement as well.
Oh yeah, one thing about this game that you need to watch out for with power manipulation is that the borders can screw you over at an inopportune time because, you know, if they auto-collect the power, you could get full clear prematurely, but, you know, the players are aware of this. If they're doing this strat, they would have practiced it, and they would have rooted their borders so that it doesn't actually affect them, but...
Yeah.
It's a quirk
Yes.
that EOSD doesn't have because EOSD obviously doesn't have the borders, so...
Yeah, it's you know great for just a regular 1cc. Borders are awesome, but when you're doing this and you're trying to like wait for the spam to get full power, yeah, those borders can become they're more of a hindrance than a help a lot of the times. But like you said, they're smart. They know when to time their borders, and we're seeing that now.
Yeah, what
And
I think I
notably-
would watch... Oh, sorry, go on for it.
I was just gonna say we have enough time for a reset, so if this is a Hourai doll's death, I don't think it will be at this rate, but... Oh,
I got it.
okay.
I think we have... I don't know if we have time for a Lily reset, because this stage is really slow. I don't think we do, if I'm being honest.
We might not.
2 minutes, 30 seconds?
Yeah. Are you gonna say something else?
Oh, I was gonna say, with the whole border thing, I think the biggest threat would be, because when you clear attacks, the cancels... I think on stages, the whole border thing won't matter too much because when you focus shoot on stage enemies, you don't increase your cherry plus. So as long as you're dodging the cherry petal items and just focus shooting, it should be pretty easy to not hit a border.
Interestingly, Senki was unfocused shooting there for a moment, maybe planning a border on Lily.
Yeah, maybe. I've not performed this route. Like, I've seen it in action, but I'm not like 100% on every nook and cranny of this route.
Yeah.
But
Me neither, just an educated guess.
I was gonna say that like the star items from canceling attack also goes into Cherry Plus, but that's not as relevant. It's more relevant on Yuyuko, where like every attack that Yuyuko or every spell gives you a bunch of cherry items, but that's also Yuyuko. That's after spam, so it doesn't matter at that point. So yeah, that's not as relevant as that's what I was trying to bring up earlier, but then I realized it's not that relevant. So
We got less than a minute of reset time left.
yeah,
so
there's no Lily. Yeah, this stage's taking its sweet time. I had a feeling like there's no way they're getting a.
Ooh, maybe just barely.
Yeah, okay, maybe they can, but like
All right, here comes
if they
Lily.
die, they need to like pause and just Escar really quickly.
All right, they took the last reset. They took
Oh, yeah.
they took the opportunity.
Yeah, that's respectable.
I mean, if
Yeah.
they're gonna do it, it's
Shodan
they
needs
pretty much have
one
none
must
left.
win.
iframes. I like it. I like it. Also, you most certainly don't want to get a border on post Lily if you're doing this power clear stuff. Yeah. Yeah, maybe you were right, Hourai. They were trying to get the border on Lily herself so that because when you kill Lily, you get a pretty big cancel. So if you get the border during Lily's fight, you can prevent the... Also, yes, final run. The players are no longer allowed to reset, but they can
Nope.
finish their run.
It's now
A
or
little
never.
scary to
and
be in stage 1 in this predicament. That the biggest nerves check, because if you die on stage 1, you have to carry that weight for the entire run, but it's also PCB, so... cue the jinx. So yeah, I guess the safe spot's really relevant on the power clear thing, because you don't want to get power items.
Yeah, I was thinking also the border's just maybe a little bit nice to have on Lily since Shodan's kind of hard.
Yeah.
And the iframes might be a little bit useful,
Yeah, no, those
especially for a
iframes,
skilled
that was
iframe
sick. That was
abuser.
great. I love
Yeah.
iframe abuse. It's just complete disrespect for the game in the best way possible.
Hey, it's a mechanic, and we're gonna use it. You know, if it's in the game, no shame in using it.
Exactly. Okay, they're fine. They have dispartment mode. It's just
Going for the pass. Okay. Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense. Why they wouldn't want to kill that fairy.
all right. So we're gonna see. Now I'm curious about something. Are they gonna have like a low rank Lyrica opener because they were dodging items? I'm not sure because they also weren't shooting things, so they weren't really spawning items. But there is a bit of rank manipulation involved. Rank drops if you time out stuff and drop items. This looks like max rank to me, but maybe I'm just gaslighting myself. Yeah,
Right.
that's one of the rare patterns
There's
that's
that cursed
affected by rank. But for the most part, Lyrica's nons are just streaming, so she's a pretty like this non here's not really notable at all because you can just sidestep.
Appreciate that, Lyrica. I mean,
Gives you
actually,
a
it's
bunch
mostly
of,
Lunasa who has the real bad ones.
She gives you a super hard non one that are non two. It's just like, alright, I'll give you a little rest.
I think what Sinky is planning to do is keep themselves at like 109 power, and then on Yomu, they might start grabbing power items to get themselves closer to max. It's like a good safety net, because Marissa A does a lot of damage anyway, that even at 109 power, she's still sufficient, and it's like, you want to have like a safety net, so if you accidentally grab a power, you don't just instantly go to 128. So I can see why they're this quote-unquote low on power, but Yomu, you can easily just get power back, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone in the chat was asking. It's so that they can do a full power clear on stage 6.
As we saw before, stage 6 is spam is quite a lot. It's even the best players will opt to clear the spam because it's just overwhelming.
Yeah, no, the survival meta has been completely warped. Well, I shouldn't say warped, that's derogatory. It's been changed. It's been changed by this discovery.
You can see they intentionally dropped the power. Absolutely, yeah. Like Mino pointed out, they're not going to start really focusing on collecting power until Yomu. So, you know, they want to be as close to 120 as possible right before the stage starts. But again, you also don't want to clear it too early because if you clear it too early, you still got a lot of spam to deal with afterwards. So you gotta clear it at the right time to dodge
Rhythm
as
River
much
final
to
is scary, by the way.
not have to deal with as much as you can.
Amusingly, I think collecting or activating a border was almost a threat at the beginning.
Alright.
So the good news is that they're at 20k Cherry Plus, so they're probably, I mean, they're not gonna get a border on any part on this stage that would, like, if they had a border here, bam, max power, but they're not in any danger of that. So this part's a little weird. Oh no, it's okay. The run's not invalidated, but they're gonna have to dodge spam now.
Yeah. Hey, one miss is still an improvement.
Could always cap spam.
That too. In fact, I would prefer that outcome. That would be very hype. Especially as Marie. But yeah, that earlier stage section's always... It's not hard if you know what you're doing, but it is a little weird.
Okay, no Kimon Tonko death. And we will not be seeing that
shooting
spell again until the main matches.
So only one death to Kimon Tonko, one time it was
And it's because of me, yeah.
Interesting that Senki is happy to do this mid spell though, as Marie.
I think it's just because they have max power now, they just don't care. Well, no, you're right, because in the last run they were... I guess Bursa is just powerful, and they can do iframe stuff. Although, yeah, with the way that border ended, I didn't think it was a good idea, and neither did the player. Sometimes on this...
Nice.
Yeah.
They found it.
Yeah.
Good job,
Very close.
Sometimes it's not always best to chase down Yomu. You might want to swap sides of the screen all the time, but sometimes it's better to just hold your position. And now for the quote-unquote spam section. That's not really hard, but it can crit roll, I guess.
This is pretty much the tutorial spam section for the real one coming up.
That's the section that we would call spam if it weren't for the other one.
Alright, lock in Hell God Sword.
Alright.
I would be quite pleased to see the first Hell God Sword cap of the qualifier. Hoping for it.
Alright. Perfect. Okay. Here it comes. Yeah, it's deceptively strong. You think, oh, the time slows down, meaning it's giving me enough time to go.
Nope,
but no, just
Nice.
it's so suffocating.
Senki went right between those larger bullets, and wow!
Okay.
Whoa!
iframe.
That iframe
Mercedes
abuse
is
right
powerful
after...
enough that she kills it before the third wave comes. Yep.
Beautiful iframe. That was the best iframe I've ever seen.
iframe abuse right after that dash, and that was after the previous wave going
that's a
between
spell
those
you want to
bullets.
use it on. Absolutely. If there's any part in the game you want to use iframes, it's that. You can use iframes on spam too, but it's a little harder because when you have a border on spam, you start collecting all the items and the numbers start obscuring your view. I hate that, but...
Alright. Nice. This spell card's not the worst. It's not super difficult. It can be tricky, but overall, compared to the previous one, this one is very tame.
One important thing to notice about Spell 2 is that you don't actually have to restrict yourself to the bottom plane. You can move a lot more on this spell than you think. I'm curious if they're going to go for border. Looking at their Cherry Plus right now, that they have 16k, I think they're going to go for spam border. I guess it makes sense. They want the iframes if they need it.
Not exactly the clear, but it's pretty much the next best thing.
Actually, no. The Cherry 38k, maybe they're not going for the border. I don't know if...
Alright, let's see if Shodan can make it through Alice final.
Oh.
Okay, well, they're definitely going to want it. Well, at least they get to do the power clear strat now. So it's kind of nice though that if you die on Yomu, you can just use the power clear to kind of negate a miss on spam. Well, like I said, it's not a foolproof thing, but if you do the power clear on spam, you're significantly less likely to die, which is why it's worth carrying or not getting full power until this point in the game.
And Shodan makes it through Alice. Also,
Nice.
Oh, not without a death.
Well,
though.
they have a
Wait,
death though. It's
I
one
missed
miss.
it.
They're
But
both at one miss.
yeah, but Shodan needs one miss to win. Senki is fighting to
there's the clear.
presumably tie that potential one miss. Well, approaching another Yigo, I think a update is possible on Senki's end, but this is not out of the question when Yigo. It does have a couple of scary things.
Also, Yuko is just a fun fight. She's just very fun to fight. Like I said, her patterns are beautiful and just fun. I really enjoy her spell guards.
Indeed. Kind of glossed over this last time, but I guess Shodan does like to shoot down some of those optional enemies. Oh, and these ones too. Wait, I didn't actually expect that. These ones are a bit of a pain, the ones right at the end, but I guess not if you only do some of them. Someone says the misses pre-Alice stage. Yeah, I'm afraid I missed it. Senki's miss was Heaven God Sword, Young Final. I believe that's what it's called. Took a second to glance at Yigo for a moment, but it does seem Shodan is a lot happier to shoot down some of those enemies that we were talking about. Possibly not shooting down to avoid those extra bullets. At least some of them. Shodan knows what he's doing, but yeah. Interestingly, Senki was doing the like dodging more lower in the corner with Sakuya A, but Mari B dodging the bubbles in the middle.
Alright, more triangle strats on this this spell. Make one triangle to the right, one triangle to the left. Repeat the well, I need to repeat the process, but very good.
Oh no, that's unfortunate.
Non-fort. And that is gonna deny the possibility of a PV update. That is why we should not underestimate the so-called retirement on y'all.
The
Need to
retirement
remind y'all
yeah.
what happened in last year's main match. Or, I mean, I'm sure y'all have already reminded each other, but... It's not as easy as it may sound. And I suppose Senki is done. I guess this is going to be the last run then.
rough break, but they did have a pretty good Sakya run.
I'm curious
Alright,
about
this one's staying under Lyrica.
if I think that they're probably gonna go for. I guess it was an accident that that Shodan. I think Shodan's gonna go for Lyrica.
Yeah.
I think it was an accident that Shodan went for Lunasa that one time.
Maybe. I'm not sure. It really looks like he was deliberately staying under for the moment, but I'll have to look again later. I'm very curious. Well, Ellen and the rest of the game are busts to win, but hoping for a good run regardless. That Lyrica spell's such a pain. People take the gap late and have to do that tiny little micro at the bottom.
Oh yeah, it's annoying.
That's why I prefer the Merlin one, because you have to be so proactive, you know? Like, I mean, I acknowledge it's not that bad, but...
I'm used to Lyrica for the most part. always choose Lyrica, but occasionally, yeah, when I take that gap too late, I'm like, why couldn't you be Merlin instead? All right.
Well, we are still on pace. Gosh, this is tense. Like, this is gonna... But we're gonna see Shodan do stages 5 and 6 for the first time, right?
Yeah, I think so, actually.
So this really could go any way. I say because, like, I'm absolutely not going to count Shodan out, just because this is the first time we're seeing it. Sometimes early stage jail does happen, as we mentioned. And...
Yeah, no matter how good of a play you are, it's just sometimes, just early stage jail, just something everyone has to deal with.
Yeah, and as hard as Yomu is, she is learnable, and I know that Shodan has a good grasp.
Yeah, they definitely practiced it, so... We'll see. First time, like you said, first time making it to stage 5. It's gonna be interesting how he handles it.
So Shodan does have to no miss no bomb the rest of the game, but you know,
He's done it before.
yeah. TWC is definitely an environment where the best comebacks have happened.
Yeah. The longer the pace lasts, though.
Yeah, Yomu's definitely not someone you want to try.
Yomu
I'll come
doesn't
back
mess
on.
around. Hey, there's
Very
a reason
nice.
why Senki skipped the Yomu spell earlier.
And that was it.
Yeah, they played it well. Yeah, the tutorial spam stage.
Okay, he's starting with 0 cherry plus, so I'm going to assume that he's not going to do... Well, he can at that point, right?
Probably not.
So, yeah, ethical Hellgod Sword. Let's go!
Ethical.
Good thing about Marissa A, though, is that she is powerful enough to kill Hellgod Sword in 2 waves. Not every shot can do that. Reimu A certainly can't. Unless there's a new damage strat that I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
Okay, that was really easy RNG. But will the second wave be nice? Yeah, that was
Fairly
really
nice.
easy. Yeah. Nice.
Oh God, Sword knew that we want a match.
Ooh, good.
He's saying
Quick.
Okay, I was so scared that I said that too soon.
No, we're good, we're gaming.
That's the RNG players pray for. Okay, this one is, again, not to be underestimated, but it's definitely it's definitely a lot easier than Hell God Sword in my opinion.
Oh. That was unfortunate, but
Yeah.
it looks
I
like
take
he's
full
still
responsibility for jinxing that.
finishing the run, which is respect. Also, he went for the max power now, so he's gonna do spam in its entirety.
Yeah, that is too bad. That the Asuka Sword, indeed not the hardest, but definitely a spell that can give you some annoying situations that you might not be prepared for, I think. And that looked like exactly what happened, even if it could have been dodged.
Oh, nice.
Pretty good dodge there. Ooh.
That's just Yomu. That's Yomu being Yomu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care how easy people consider this game. Yomu is a challenge. But at least
Yeah.
they get to spam clear, so
Indeed.
All intentional.
all according to plan.
I was gonna say the all according to Keikaku joke, but that's so overdone at this point.
I was tempted. I was legit
Yeah.
tempted too. I had to like bite my tongue for a second.
Okay. Now would be a good
Got
time
it.
to get the power. Good. And like I said, it's not free even. I mean, it's significantly easier, but it's not free. You still have to watch out. Because, okay, one of the things about spam that's really unfortunate is that sometimes you can just have sniper bullets at the very end that just like come out of nowhere and just kill you. That's just how spam works. Because there are some bullets on spam that are just insanely fast. Because all the bullets on spam have varying speeds. So it's, yeah. Also, I didn't mention it on any of the runs so far, but there's like safe spots you can do on the enemy marker for the Yomu mid spell, but it's so like elementary that it's not really like after getting through spam, that's not anything you want to worry about, you know.
Yeah, these players will know how to do that one.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe a little.
Oh yeah, a little fact about Yuyuko is that on this first non, she actually has like those bullets that spawn only if you're near the boss. I don't know why she has those on non 1, because it's not like you would want to go near Yuyuko anyway, but that's a fun little fact.
Those red bullets, right? Yeah, I think it's just an extra layer of please don't get close.
Yeah, it's like the
bullet
proximity
pattern sheet
bullets.
defensive
Yeah,
behavior, or at least that's what the wiki used to call it.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm
Going for
down.
the timeout. Okay.
Maybe just having fun since it's over anyway. I respect that.
Might as well enjoy it.
Aww.
Alright, time would have been a timeout, but it's fine.
Oh, you know what I never mentioned? I really should have mentioned this earlier. Yuyuko's fan actually takes damage too, so it's not the full amount of damage as if you were shooting Yuyuko. Unless you're Marissa B, which that's a funny little thing that maybe will be relevant in the main match, but you can damage Yuyuko if she has the fan out, even though you're not under Yuyuko, and it won't do the full amount, but it is very relevant and very notable. Marissa B's lasers can actually hit the fan and Yuyuko at the same time, which allows you to like speed kill the penultimate spell, which is really funny. And
yeah, that's 7 misses now. This non,
I think they're just trying to time it out.
Fun, but like this non is a little hard to time out, or maybe not that hard if you misdirect well. I always think of this as something I want to kill as fast as possible.
Yeah, because once you start letting the bubbles overlap, yeah, you're in not a super good position. But that is interesting that the fan does take some amount of damage. Okay, they opted not to go for pacifist anymore.
I appreciate the fan mechanic. Like, that makes some of the non-spells work. Non-2 and 3 in particular. Oh,
interesting. Death order. Yeah, you can like, there's like death bombs, but you can also like, I guess, death border? If you get a border at the same time. It's like not a border break, but still one, I guess. You still get the Pichun noise. So yeah, I was mentioning earlier that the cyan knives on this are dangerous at different times. So sometimes you want to like be in the middle, and sometimes you want to be on the sides.
Yeah,
it's just
static.
memorization. Yeah.
Okay.
Surprisingly, this spell isn't static in the way you'd think, because like the initial angle of like the blue balls is a little bit random, but that doesn't matter at all on survival, so it's not really notable, but it is a little fact about this spell. But then once it starts continually firing, it just becomes just a static pattern, I guess. Alright, retirement non. I still don't even know where the term retirement non came from, but like, it's been used for quite a long time, so yeah. Did Gustari come up with that? I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised though.
It's a funny name, not gonna lie.
The name
is the joke something like, if you die to this you should retire or something, or
you know,
I think it's mostly because it's just their final non, so it's like,
I thought the joke was that it's just not the highest effort pattern compared to some of the other things. Or it's like, it feels like you're using some dodging skill to get through it beyond just knowing what to do. But it is not the highest amount of dodging skill.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is that like Yuko's fight is just generally really flashy, and then you have that non, which is very simplistic. A funny little thing though about that non is that she doesn't have the fan, so maybe Zune like designed the attacks where she doesn't have the fan to be intentionally not flashy. Just a thought.
Definitely designed around staying under her if you can. I like Hirokawa though.
Yeah. Retirement non. Yeah, that is kind of funny. I don't know. I think that name's kind of funny.
Please clear.
Now there is I don't know if he will do it, but there is actually a way to cheese Resurrection Butterfly. Like once you get a border, you can just like mass border break over and over again. And then like you nullify.
Potentially get another life, maybe?
Yeah, sure. They can. Yeah, there's enough or sorry, he can. Yeah, there's enough items that Shodan could definitely get another life.
So Shodan's letting them not extend fully, but extending just slightly. But they are being a little more aggressive.
Every wave on Resurrection Butterfly will drop cherry items, so you can get borders pretty easily on this. And I guess it's relevant to say that the little cherry items actually increase the amount of cherry plus they give you based on how many spells you've captured in the game. So in a no bomb or an LNN run, you're bound to have captured a lot of spells, so as the game progresses, the pink cherry items will be worth a lot more, so it's easier to get borders with them.
And he got the final extend, so it looks like he will clear this.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah,
like
it's physically impossible
anyway.
not to clear at this point, because you can't even die twice, and there's a capture.
That's it, okay.
Glad to
Not
see
like they needed the extend, but always nice to have as a little backup.
It is unfortunate how that ended up going, but
Respect for clearing the run, though.
Indeed.
You know, he could have easily just X'd out and just been like, nope, but he stuck it through to the ending. Panic.
Sometimes, sometimes just sticking it out is honestly, it's honorable, you know. Even if the run is a little jeopardized, you might as well just finish it out, and I respect that.
All right, so these are our final results. It looks like Senki will be qualifying with a 2-miss no bomb Sakia A run.
Yeah. That died to Heaven God's Sword and Spam, if I recall correctly. I might be wrong. Or maybe it was Hell God's Sword.
No, did you just call it Heaven God's Sword?
Oh, isn't Heaven God's Sword the name of the final?
Oh, I don't know that. Maybe.
Well, regardless, understandable death spot, pretty strong run regardless.
Yeah, GG's to the players.
They both played well. They both gave it their best. Yeah, just Shodan, unfortunately, a little unfortunate at the end, but still, I really respect that they finished out the run, and they still played very well, you know. But congrats to Senki for.
Oh, we got
winning.
the 2 players, and hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
How you doing?
Sorry for the thing at the end. I just completely stopped caring. I was so pissed off at myself due to how much I was stuck in the early game.
No need
Such
to
stupid
apologize.
mistakes, such
It's fine. You don't need to
stupid-
apologize. You still played very well. I still enjoyed watching your runs.
Of course.
I guess, but I don't know. I'm sorry for the end. I just stopped caring at all. I was so pissed off. Sure, I expected some early game struggle, but that was way too much. And honestly, I don't know. I feel so ashamed because
No,
There's
early stage.
no need
we were actually
for-
talking
no
about
need
it the
for
whole
shame.
time. Early stage jail really is frustrating to deal
it
with.
happens
is a
to
very
everyone. Early game jail
Everybody.
it's a universal phenomenon. It'll hit anyone on any day, so there is no need to feel ashamed. You did wonderful, and both of you did wonderful, and it was great to watch you both play.
You know, you
It's
got
all
nothing
part
to
of
be
the game,
ashamed
no
of.
shame
Just-
at all.
If you say so, I know. Honestly, it ended the same way it ended last year. I died at Asura Sword and I couldn't make it anymore.
And I actually mentioned that a few times about Yomu. Even though PCB is, you know, awesome game, my favorite Touhou game, but Yomu is a very difficult fight. Sometimes she really just likes screwing people, you know what I mean? So it's, again, you have nothing to worry about. Yomu's just a very, very difficult fight.
I just realized this is a Japanese Dream remix by Dimitori. Isn't Dimitori mostly known for super fast-paced electric guitar music?
Very heavy metal, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of... Sorry, I thought it was interesting how calm this song is. It's not really relevant to anything that happened in the match.
Yeah, I'm because it's Demitori, I'm expecting just an explosion of guitars and drums. But both of you did amazing. Both of you were very fun to watch. I very enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed commentating your runs. You guys, awesome.
I was worried about not getting a run today, but yeah, I'm glad I did it.
Both surprisingly early game jailed in PCB. That's not something you really expect in this particular game. The mid game's the hard point.
And both of you kind of had the similar experience with the early stage jail. It was like Alice was really the warden of the jail.
Yeah.
Alice really was.
Also there.
I mean, we had the qualifiers in IN where Racing was suddenly killing everyone. I mean, that normally doesn't happen as well.
Oh, you know, we've had moments with Sane, of all characters, being really evil. I mean, if you know, you know.
I know
Oh
she
yeah,
can
no,
build
you
houses,
never
but-
underestimate, as pointed out by Couscous, you don't underestimate PCB. Don't underestimate anything. Don't underestimate
No.
10 Desires. Don't underestimate Wily Beast. Don't underestimate anything. And do not
'Cause
underestimate
don't
Yamu
underestimate
Final
anything.
by any stretch of the imagination.
Because at the end
People
of the
will
day,
call these
it's a
games easy,
shmup,
but it's all relative.
it's a bullet
Heaven,
hell, you know,
God,
like
sword. There's nothing heavenly about that.
there's
Not
still
at all.
at the end of the day, it's a no matter what, yeah, like whether it's LOL-K, Subterranean, or 10 Desires or PCB, a bullet hell is a bullet hell. Like there will be times where you just get walled, you will just get overwhelmed. It happens. It's just the nature of these games. It doesn't matter what's subjectively easier or harder. It's just the nature of the beast. But like I said, you both did splendid. It was so much fun commentating your matches.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So for the next match we have coming up on April 11th is the embodiment of Scarlet Devil extra scoring qualifiers. Osaka versus Kana. Very, very hype match.
Oh, it is.
Excited,
the only
and I will be
reason Kana
watching.
is because Kana will be playing. Because otherwise, Kana materializes around EUSD like dust. If someone's playing scoring in EUSD, Kana just appears. Somehow.
And Kana has TH6 in their name, so they're definitely prepared for this match.
They should be.
Yeah. It's a dedicated naming choice. Looking forward to that.
That's not all. We also have Hidden Star and Four Seasons Lunatic scoring
A
by
three-way.
these three. Yep. So look forward to that as well.
I feel like Hidden Star, it should have had one more player, so it could be 4 players in 4
And-
seasons. That's just me.
I do believe that these two matches are the final two qualifying. So after this Hidden Star match, then it's just waiting room for the full event, which is starts on May 16th.
Yeah, first matches it's starting there. Also, if you wanted to do 4 matches, you're gonna have to pay George or someone else to create a 4-person overlay. Them's the rules. Do you have the money?
Oh, is that really the only way?
Yeah, it's extra work.
Unfortunate. Alright, well, looking forward to the upcoming scoring matches for sure. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
New signups
and,
all throughout the event.
Yep. Oh yeah, this is a really, really good remix here. Pretty jazzy.
Honestly, if I wasn't like on voice chat right now, I'd be getting up and dancing to this.
Oh yeah, I've been standing. I don't know what it is, but whenever I do commentary, I just can't sit down.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, and if you didn't know, Touhou World Cup is hosted by TRS, which does weekly replay watch parties. You can submit your own replays as well. Just head over to the Blue Sky or the website and see more details.
So I think we
that-
can sign off actually.
Yeah.
Unless we have something else to say.
Not on my end.
Yeah, I believe
I
that's
just want to
it.
say thank you both, Senki, Shodan. That was an incredible match. You guys, again, awesome job to you both. This is my first time commentating, so
You did well.
I hope I did okay. Hope I did a satisfactory job. But yeah, it was really fun today, and yeah, I had a great time. Thank you to everyone that came out. Thank you to everyone that watched. Again, thank you to these two great players for showcasing their skills. And yeah, like I said, hope you guys are looking forward to the next few matches.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I did awesome. Thank you so much,
fun
Bogo.
today. Can't wait for more.
Bye.
everyone.
See you later.
That's it.